In this video, we're going to look at how to calculate compound probability using a tree diagram and not using a tree diagram, because sometimes there are situations or events that occur where you have just far too many outcomes to create a tree diagram. So there's an alternate method that we can use to calculate compound probability. So we're going to do both with the same type of problem. So we're going to start with this problem where we have a spinner and it's labeled sections A, B, and C, and we have 5 cards numbered 1 through 5. So we want to find these probabilities, and I've already drawn the tree diagram, and I've also listed the outcomes. So the first one we're going to do is how to find the compound probability if I have a tree diagram. So the very first question is, what's the probability of spinning in A and any number? So that means I want to know what the probability of A and spinning 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 might be. Well, there are, if I use my fundamental counting principle, there are 3 possible outcomes on the spinner and 5 possible outcomes on the cards, so that would be 15 total outcomes. And as I've already circled, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possible outcomes of spinning an A and then picking a card that's numbered 1 through 5. So my probability of A and any number would be 5 out of 15, and that would simplify to 1/3. All right, let's look at the next probability question I'm asking. What's the probability of spinning a C and a 2 or a 4? So the probability of a C would be this set of outcomes, and I'm looking for spinning a 2 or a 4. So I'm looking for C and then 2 or C and then 4. So that's a possibility of 2 outcomes, 1, 2 or 1, 2 out of 15 total outcomes. All right, and the last probability problem I'm looking for is the probability of spinning an A or a B and a 5. So A or B and then a 5 would be A and 5 and B and 5, which would be 2 out of 15 outcomes. All right, let's look at that same problem now and calculate the compound probabilities that we did before using another method instead of the tree diagram. So the first thing we're going to do is calculate the total number of outcomes of spinning this spinner once and pulling a card from this deck of 5 cards. So the total number of outcomes on the spinner, or total possible outcomes, is 3, and the total outcomes from the deck of cards is 5. When I multiply 3 times 5 and use my fundamental counting principle to find the total number of outcomes, we're going to have 15 total outcomes. Now, how to calculate probability of spinning an A and any number without using a tree diagram? Well, we're going to do simple probability, and we're going to multiply them. So I'm going to look at what's the probability of spinning an A on that spinner, and then I'm going to multiply it by the simple probability of pulling any card from that deck of cards. So the probability of spinning an A on this spinner is 1 chance out of 3. So the simple probability would be 1/3. Now the probability of pulling any card from this deck of cards would be 5 chances out of 5. Now this is just a little math problem. It's a simple multiplication problem. And we multiply our numerators and we'll get an answer, and we'll multiply our denominators and get an answer. So 1 times 5 is 5, and 3 times 5 is 15. So the probability of spinning an A and any number is 5 over 15, or simplified is 1 out of 3. Let's look at the next one. what's the probability of spinning a C and pulling a 2 or a 4 from that deck of cards? So we want to know the simple probability of spinning a C on that spinner, and then we want to know the simple probability of pulling a 2 or a 4 out of that deck of cards. Well, the probability of a C would be 1 chance in 3 on that spinner. So 1 chance in 3. And the probability of pulling a 2 or a 4 from this deck, 2 possible outcomes, 2 out of 5. And again, we're going to multiply our numerators, and we're going to get 1 times 2 is 2, and our denominators, 3 times 5 is 15. So the probability of spinning a C and pulling a 2 or a 4 out of that deck of cards is 2 out of 15. Now let's look at the last one. The probability of spinning an A or a B and pulling a 5 out of that deck of cards would be the two simple probabilities of probability of spinning A or B, and we're going to multiply it by the probability of pulling a 5 out of that deck of cards. So the probability of spinning A or B on this spinner is going to be 2 possible outcomes out of 3. 2 out of 3. And we're going to multiply it by the probability of pulling a 5 from this deck of 5 cards, which would be 1 out of 5. And then again, we're going to do simple multiplication of fractions. 2 times 1 is going to be 2. And 3 times 5 is 15. So the probability of spinning a or B and pulling a 5 out of that deck of cards is 2 out of 15. All right, let's look at another compound probability problem. In this one, we have a bag of marbles. We're going to pull 1 marble from the bag, we're going to replace it, and we're going to pull another marble from the bag. Keywords here are replacing it. This is going to become important when we take the next step in compound probability and talk about independent and dependent events. For this problem, however, let's just count what we have in our bag. We have 3 blue marbles in the bag, 1 green, and 2 red, for a total of 6 marbles. These are the numbers we are going to use for our probabilities within this problem. The first problem is, what's the probability of pulling a blue from the bag, replacing it, and then pulling another blue marble from the bag? So I want to know the simple probability of pulling a blue marble first, replacing it, and then pulling another blue marble. Well, the probability of pulling a blue marble, there are 3 of them in the bag out of 6. So the probability of pulling a blue marble from the bag is 3 out of 6. And then the probability of pulling another blue marble out of the bag once I replace the first one is again 3 out of 6. Now to solve this problem, we just multiply our fractions, or multiply our numerators. 3 times 3 is 9, and 6 times 6 is 36. And yes, you can simplify ahead of time if you'd like. 9/36 will simplify to 1/4. So the probability of pulling a blue from the bag, replacing it, and then pulling another blue from the bag is 1 out of 4 chances. All right, let's look at the next probability. Probability of pulling a red from the bag and then a green. So I want to know what's the simple probability I'll pull a red from the bag first, and then the probability I will pull a green after I replace it. So I have 2 red marbles out of 6, so the probability of red, pulling a red out of the bag, would be 2 out of 6, and then the probability of pulling a green out of the bag would be 1 out of 6. 1 out of 6. And when I multiply these fractions, 2 times 1 would be 2, and 6 times 6 would be 36. And yes, you can simplify ahead of time. 2 out of 36 would simplify to 1 out of 18. So that's the probability of pulling a red first and then a green. So now let's try and explore what's the probability of pulling a green first and then a red. So we'll do the probability of green first times the probability of red. So the probability of green we know is 1 out of 6, and the probability of pulling a red out of the bag is 2 marbles out of 6. And again, we simplify or multiply this fraction. 1 times 2 is 2, 6 times 6 is 36, and when we simplify it, we get 1 out of 18. And if you notice, they are the same probability. It did not matter if we pulled red first and then green, or green first and then red. We still got the same probability, 1 out of 18 chances. All right, let's look at our last probability, where we're going to pull a red out of the bag first, replace it, and then pull a blue out of the bag. So we want the probability of pulling red first, and then probability of pulling a blue after you replace the red. So the probability of red would be 2 out of 6. So 2 out of 6 times. Probability of blue would be 3 blue out of 6. So 3 out of 6. I multiply my numerators. 2 times 3 is 6. And my denominators, 6 times 6 is 36. And yes, again, you can simplify ahead of time. If not, simplify at the end. Divide top and bottom by 6, and I would reduce this to 1 out of 6. So there's a 1/6 probability of first pulling a red, replacing it, and then pulling a blue. All right, last problem. There are 5 socks in the drawer. 3 are red and 2 are blue. What is the probability of pulling a blue sock out first, replacing it, and then pulling out another blue sock? So again, key to our problem is replacing it, because this makes it independent events. So in this problem, we want to pull a blue first, and then we want to pull out another blue. So we want to know what's the probability of pulling out a blue first and then another blue. So I want to know the simple probability of pulling a blue out first, replacing it, and then pulling out another blue sock from the drawer. So I have 5 possible outcomes, and out of those outcomes, 2 of them are blue. I replace it, and the next time I put my hand in the drawer and pull out a sock, there's 5 possible outcomes, 2 of them are blue. I simplify this little fraction problem. 2 times 2 is 4, and 5 times 5 is 25. So the probability of pulling out a blue sock and then another blue sock is 4 out of 25.